be a go-go dancer. Yeah. So watch her dance. Yeah, in this life. No, she was, right?
Yeah.
She's good. But it's great. Okay. Well, you know, when we made the talk title, I realized that Tracy was going to be here, and I want to just invite Tracy up. And like I said, she's a numerologist, and let's give her a warm welcome. We'll do a little Q&A with her too, but we're going to obviously go over what we need to do. So I'm just going to take our, you know, our little questions that we did. So first of all, I'm going to ask you something. How did you get started in this? Because you are so good at it. And I've been to a lot of numerologists, and they weren't like you, girl.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, to be honest, because of my numbers, I'm very into, I guess you'd say, psychics or channels. So I went and had a reading with one that I really admire. And what came through was, we were talking about astrology because I was studying that. And what came through was, I should study numerology because I would love that.
Oh, and so you have more of an affinity for that.
Yes.
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 Well, the other thing that I noticed is that you have more of a, when you're giving somebody a reading, you know, she'll write down everything for you, but that you were definitely hitting more of the spiritual path, and I haven't had anybody do that before, so you're unique in that way. And so how is it that, you know, you're able to come up with that? Why does that show up so much with you?
Well, I'll tell you.
Okay.
So I have a ton of 7 energy in my chart, and the 7 is the mystic. It goes within and it wants to find the meaning of life.
Oh, no wonder.
Right, so
Okay.
I study like crazy.
Okay.
So I think it maybe all comes through me with my love of
Oh, so you're kind of channeling in a
it.
way.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's in my chart.
Yeah,
very heavily.
absolutely. Oh, that's great. Okay, and then the other question, what is numerology? Because people think, oh, you know, I mean, a lot of people don't understand it, and they think it's a little woo-woo, but it's not. It's very precise. I had her work on my granddaughter's chart, and my granddaughter's 2.5. And you know, when you see a child or when you see somebody, you know that they have a certain way of being. She did not know my granddaughter at all, and she pegged her perfectly, because this child, we call her a master builder. So you want to explain a little bit what a master builder is to everybody?
In numerology, we reduce down all of the numbers. And we take it from the birth certificate name and from the birth date, the full birth date. And when we reduce these numbers down, they all have meanings. We reduce them down to 1 through 9. But there's also master numbers, 11, 22, and 33. And what she's talking about is a master number 22, which is a master builder, coming here and bringing things into the physical on the earth, but doing it through very intuitive and sensitive ways.
Yeah, and definitely. She is definitely sensitive.
Yes.
Yeah, we know. Okay, it's good. And so what is numerology? You know, where did it come from?
So numerology, as I understand it, was the very first science ever, because the universe is actually all built out of mathematical equations. But numerology is much easier than
Einstein.
Yes, much easier. You just add.
Right.
Subtract a little bit, but mainly just adding numbers. So it's an ancient science, actually. And when you said it's a science, it really is a science. It is a sister science to astrology. And I was studying that, like I said, but that it's very deep, right? And
Yeah, it's
your
very
sign
complex.
and this house, very complex. So it is a sister science, but it's an ancient study of the numbers and then the messages that the numbers have for us. And it's been around for a very long time. I can't believe it isn't mainstream myself.
Yeah, well,
It
to
helps
us
me a
it
lot.
is.
Yeah,
we
it helps
say.
me a lot in my life.
Yeah, and I think they used it, you know, in the time of a lot of the people in power would use it, didn't they? You know,
Yes,
leaders,
in fact,
royalty.
Yes, in the Pythagorean time, and I'm going to be teaching the Pythagorean. There's 2 kinds of numerology I'll be teaching. But Pythagoras' day, and we remember him from our geometry classes, the Pythagorean theorem. In his day, it was not allowed to be spoken about. In fact, you could die from it. if he knew that you took it out, and because he could get into a lot of trouble.
Oh, and why was that? They didn't want people to have information?
I think they didn't want him to have power, right?
Okay.
It was being suppressing people at that time.
Yeah, you think? They've done that a lot. Thank God we're not that age, right? I'm so happy.
Right,
God.
right, yeah,
Thank
right.
God we have so much freedom here. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, and what are the benefits of numerology? I kind of said a little bit, but
Well, the benefits of numerology, it confirms your natural talents and abilities. It lets you know what you came here for, and not specifically that you were here to teach middle school, for 5 years, but it's a broad base of what you came here to do, and it tells about your heart's desire, what nurtures your soul, and it tells you your personality number, which you show to others, and then others see in you. And also, it tells of your gifts that you came here with, your natural gifts, to help the world. And then also, and it goes much, much deeper than that, but we also all have a personal year. And knowing the personal year, then you can know kind of what you're going to experience throughout the year, or the theme, I should say. Again, it's not going to be, so specific that this is going to happen, but it's a general. And then when I know my personal year, and then you know your personal month too, then you know what to expect. You know if maybe like I'm in a 7 personal year. When you're in a 7 personal year, you should not overdo it. It's a year to go within and find out more about yourself. If you overdo it, like I did recently, then my back went out. And the universe put me right in bed and said, okay, now we're going to be going within some more. So a lot of things like that.
that happened to me when I got back from John and God. Same thing. I wasn't listening.
You have to integrate everything.
Yes. Do you remember my chart at all?
Oh, yes, I remember.
Okay, so I want her to share because you're just going to laugh when you hear this, okay?
I remember 3 numbers in your chart, and one is she's a number 1, she's a leader. So that is, and I believe that was your life path, which is natural talents and abilities coming into this lifetime. And then she had an 8 in there, which I think was your destiny, and that is, the 8 is like empowerment, money, power, abundance. It's seeing the bigger picture, it's the executive energy. And when you put the 1 and the 8 together, that's CEO energy.
Oh.
She's here to lead. And then she also had a 9 in there, and the 9 contains all the energy 1 through 8 also. The 9 is very big energy, and it's the humanitarian. It's here to help people and take care of the world. And so that makes sense with the Brazil.
And being a minister.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely. Well, the other thing that she told me, and I think this was after, did I go to John and God before or after? I can't remember. I think after.
January, February.
January. I went January. When was the intuitive fair, Roxy? Do you
I think
remember?
February.
February. Okay, it was after I came back. So, so she said, you said something, there was a number that said I had to travel. And I had and the energy, okay, what's the 5?
The 5 is change, adventure, travel, freedom. And the 5 wants to go and see the world.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
great, yeah. So I loved it, so does that sound like me? A little bit. Okay, and then how does, and you talked about this a little bit, but how does numerology help us on our spiritual path? So you talked about it a little bit, but when they come to you, let's say they're going through maybe a rough time, will it help them to clarify? Okay.
Yes, I just did a reading for someone recently, and in her core numbers, she had a 2, a 6, and a 9. And the 2 is highly sensitive, highly empathic, and they pick up other people's energy. And sometimes they don't know if it's theirs or somebody else's.
Oh my goodness.
So the 2s, and 2s want everybody to get along, they're the peacemakers. She also had a 6, and the 6 is the cosmic parent. And they want to parent everybody, father or mother, parent. And then she had 9 with that humanitarian energy.
Right.
So in her life, she had a job that she loved, so she had enough energy to go and do her job when she was scheduled. But when she wasn't, she couldn't do anything. She was home, she was in bed. And I told her she has extremely highly sensitive energy. And if she could get help with, maybe clearing out her energy field or learn about being empathic, that would probably really help.
So she can learn how to take care of herself and how to
Exactly.
not block it, but.
Not give yourself away.
Yeah, exactly.
But you gotta build
Boundaries,
yourself up
energetic
first.
boundaries.
Energetic.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think we all have need boundaries.
Yes, oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely, that's
Absolutely.
great. Is there any questions any of you have while we're talking? Yeah, go ahead, Diana.
So what if you want to change your name, or I already did, but my last name I changed a few letters.
As I did, yeah.
And so, and I did it without checking with numerology.
That's okay. That's
So
okay.
where does that fit in compared to your birth certificate?
Sure. So your birth certificate name is your actual code when you come in, and that never changes. That always stays with you. However, when you change your name, a different layering comes on top of it, right? And you bring in additional energy with that name.
And so I heard someone say, oh, they shouldn't change their name to da-da-da because it all ended up to da-da-da, which they didn't want with that extra layer.
Mhm.
So,
Well, or maybe that's what their soul's asking them to experience, is to change the name and to go through that, experience. Don't all of us, we all have to go through change, right? I'm sorry, it's inevitable. We're gonna have to go through loss, we're gonna have to go through change, and maybe that's the soul, requesting that. Because I know, how weird I come up here and, Reverend Karen was before me, so I get to use, not have to, I get to use Maryum because it was too confusing for everybody, for me. And so when you did, the numbers came out almost identical with the birth name and the name Maryum.
oh, really?
Yeah, so it's something for you, because I wanted to share that because that fit in with the question. And it's so true, so as you do this, it is a science. And it's like, I went to, you, and I went to astrologer, and then I went to somebody else, and I don't know. And they all tell you the same thing, because your energy and your soul is speaking so loud, sometimes we don't know it, but it's really saying, hey, and it will use anything in order to get your attention. And that's really what it's about,
Absolutely.
and a lot of that's that. So, I'm thinking that if you're changing your name, it would do an inquiry, why? What's going on? What do you want me to learn? What do you want me to know? And that's really a lot of it. Anybody else that was a great question, yeah.
I just want to know about the workshop.
Oh, you want to know about the workshop, what she's going to do? Okay, so what are you going to do, Tracy?
So in the workshop, I'm going to do, it's a basic numerology workshop. So I will take you through how to find out your life path number, your destiny number, heart's desire, personality, you already know your birthday, and then I'll talk about the personal years as well.
So what they can expect for this year?
Yes, so that they know this year or any year coming, they'll be able to tell what year they're in from then on out.
So you go from 1 to 10, how many personal years? Is there 10 personal years?
You go 1 through 9.
1 through
So
9.
a series of 1 through 9.
Okay,
And so as an example, 2016 is the universal year.
right.
So you add 2 plus 1 plus 6, that comes out to 9. So we're the universe right now, or the world, because it's 2016, is in a 9 personal year. So we're finishing up an entire 9-year cycle. It's just gone 1 through 9. That's why you're seeing so much in the world right now. The 9 is about clearing out what's no longer necessary.
Right.
And there's a lot of drama that comes with the 9.
There's a lot of drama going on right
A lot of
now.
drama, and the
A lot
9
of
can bring
drama.
that up. The 9's very big energy.
Yeah.
You said that the number 9 has to do with being a humanitarian.
Yes.
So would that mean that we're in a phase right now where the world is more humanitarian?
Yes, yes. As you can see, we're all much more connected now, right? With the internet, we know what's going on, right? And with everything that's going on, what it's doing is also raising the compassion level on the world.
Did you say some things like your name is one thing, and then is that your personality, and then what about your birth date?
That's what I'm going to be going over all in the class.
Destiny? Okay.
Yeah. So then that way you can understand, you know, about yourself. And then, and you'll teach them how to do their personal year every year also? Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's absolutely great. Roxy, what's our year here that this place was built? I wanted to ask Tracy this. We're 3 months.
The exact date, I believe, is July 26, 1945. It could be,
No, that was the year of us becoming separate.
Incorporated?
well, that's what we've been going
When we
by.
became
Yeah.
An entity.
So
Yeah.
taking that number for center of the heart or this place, what number is that? So we add up,
So to come up with your personal year,
Okay.
you take the month
okay,
and then reduce that. So if it was 11 or 12, reduce it to 2 or 3.
okay.
Then the date, add that up and reduce that. So that you say the 26th.
20, was it 26, Roxy?
I think July 26th, I have to check the records,
that's
of
all
course.
right. Well, it's
But
just
but just to
26.
say,
It'll be close.
July 26, 1945, you know.
Okay.
So you take 2 plus 6 is 8.
Uh-huh,
And then the current year, which is a 9.
right,
So then you add all 3 of those together and then reduce, and that's what it's in. So you take the 7 plus the 8, so that's 15, plus the 9, so it would end up being a 6 year.
And what's a 6 year mean?
So the 6 year is all about home and family. Yes, home and family, responsibility, love, harmony.
That's what's happening here. You know, and, you know, I don't know if any of you know this, but, you know, Keith did a clearing here. Keith, raise your hand. And what it did, it created a synergistic energy here. And everybody who is here now, we are like a family and we are closely connected. And anybody who is not, you know, or want to be in that, I'm going to say, frequency or vibration, they're not here anymore. So it really has created this beautiful oneness for us to all come together. And it makes sense. And I wanted to share, you know, and because of that, you know, Roxy and somebody came in and said, you really need to clean that lobby. Did you go look at the lobby? Okay, after service, you've got to go see the lobby because it is cleared out of all this stuff. I don't know if you've ever gone up in there, but, you know, ever since that clearing with Keith, oh my goodness. So we are just continuing to cleanse this place and make it look more beautiful and more beautiful because we want to honor that we have spirit here and that we have this is where the divine, you know, the divine's everywhere, but I mean, we focus and we want to allow it to even be more present and more expanded right here. And so that's really what's going on. So it's like we're loving, we're cleaning the home, we're loving each other. You know, it's really quite beautiful that that's happening right now. So
When did
it's
you all
good.
do the clearing?
Keith, 2 months ago?
About 2 months.
About 2 months ago, yeah. So it's quite beautiful. So if you see, we've got a little black bear back there. So our totem is a little black bear. He wanted to come in and hang at the sanctuary with us. So, you know, it's got a beautiful, that's a stable, grounded energy, I call it.
That's very protective.
Yeah, very protective
Especially
too.
mama bear.
Yeah, so we are protected here. The other thing, you know, that happened is that a lot of the Chumash elders, the grandmothers came in, and they came in to be here with us. So we are very honored to be on this land. You all know Bev Berry, and she's one of our practitioners. She's out on the road right now. But what happened is when she was here, when she was growing up, they were all, was it orange groves here? Do you remember?
Some kind of orchard, yeah.
It was an orchard of some sort.
Orchard, it was an orchard. She used to play in the orchard when she was a kid, you know, and then it slowly got built up. But the land, you know, that's why I love it that Keith said we have to send love to the land because it supports us even though there's a home right here. Okay, any other questions about numerology? Anybody have anything that you want to know?
Yeah. Is the workshop we can know, is it at 1:30 or?
Is it 1:30 to 3:30?
Yeah. So it's 1:30 to 3:30, and I don't remember, how much is it, Roxy?
It's $20 in advance, so if you go over to the bookstore, you can sign up. And then at the door, it's $25.
All right,
Yes.
so you can sign up at the bookstore, and that's good. And how has, since you've taken this science, how has it helped you in your life?
It changed my whole life.
In what way? So what was happening before and what's going on now?
Well, it helped me to understand myself so much better. Because I have a lot of 7 energy in my chart. I need a lot of time to myself. That's what happens with 7s, a lot of time to go within, and we think so much.
Oh, yeah.
So we need a lot of time to ourselves, and I had always been that person, but I always thought I was kind of weird. And I needed so much time to myself. When I was married and I had young kids, my husband would travel. And when he would come home, the kids would run to meet him at the door, and I would run the other way.
To get your quiet time,
Yeah,
right?
so I could have some time to myself. So I just always thought I was so strange. And then I have a personality 3, and the 3 is the inner child. It's social. That's why I can stand up here and talk. If I didn't have this 3 in my chart and I had all those 7s, I would never come out of my house.
Wow.
So it helped me understand myself so
That
much
is
better.
so good.
And then my personal year, I was in a 6 personal year last year, so I knew something was coming up with family. Well, both of my children moved out unexpectedly. And
That's
it was really
incredible.
cool because
That's cool.
yes, in my 7 year, I'm in a 7 year, plus I
Yeah.
have a lot of 7 energy, so I needed a lot of time to myself. So look, they moved out in my 6 year, now I'm in my 7 year.
So you have all the peace and you have the
Yes.
quiet.
Nobody's asking you when dinner is.
Oh,
What
I
are
like
you
it.
having?
I like it, Tracy.
Yeah, even though I said
Fantastic.
your turn to cook, it didn't seem to work very well.
Wow. Okay, this question just popped in. How can this help us with our children, our spouses, our boyfriends and girlfriends?
That's a wonderful question. So when you compare 2 charts to each other, it doesn't matter really if you're compatible or not, if you're learning your lessons or if you want to be with each other. It just helps you understand each other so much better. Why one person does this, like why I needed so much time to myself
Yeah.
in my relationship. When I was working in corporate, I knew almost everybody's numbers around me, and that made it so much more tolerable for me, because I knew exactly what they were all going through.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Like
Wow.
if somebody has a lot of maybe 5 energy in their chart, and they want to go and they want to travel and have fun, but their spouse is a 4, a large 4, and they're very practical and grounded. We need to save our money. We can't go on vacation again. So if you know that within each other, and then you can compromise or understand each other better.
That is great to know. I'm gonna have to do arts in the workshop.
And after my father had passed away in 2000, and I found numerology after that, when I went in and looked at his chart, I understood him so much better, and I felt,
Aw.
well, I always connect with him, but I felt a stronger connection.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, and I think as we seek to understand each other, it's so important because, you know, if we do, it's gonna make our life easier, our work, our relationships, yes? Yeah, you have a
What's
question?
the mean you see a lot of recurring numbers, the same number?
Oh, what if you see him? That's a great question. So if you see like the 1111, which a lot of people see, so if you know what the numbers mean, then it's very easy to learn them, and you see these recurring numbers, that's a message for you. It's a confirmation. So you stop and think, wait, what was I thinking just then? And then it's like a confirmation.
I see a lot of 8s.
You see a lot of 8s, stand in your power. Or something if you're thinking about money or power or abundance, that type of thing, or seeing the bigger picture of your life maybe, you're getting a confirmation.
Well, then you just I have a question. So if someone, you know, has issues with poverty and money and all of that, is there a way for them to, using the science, shift it?
Sure.
Okay.
If somebody has a lot of 8s in their chart, that can be anywhere from bankruptcy to being extremely wealthy. Because you're learning about it. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I love studying. It's so fun to study celebrities because you know their birth certificate name and their birthday.
Right.
So if you look at somebody like Martha Stewart, she has 3 8s. We have 5 core numbers. She has 3 8s. That's
Okay.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's energy on top of energy. So you can see in what she's built and her power. Well, there's a number that came at with the 8s. you need to stand in integrity, and if you don't, and you're gonna be found out. So what happened was, there was a number that came into her chart, I think it was her personal year actually, and that's what tripped the 8s, and she fell, she went to jail.
Right,
Right, well, this number that tripped her up, you fall, and then you really literally rise from the ashes, even bigger. And she did that after she came out of jail.
which she has, which is always
So,
amazing.
yeah, so you could, if you are in poverty, like if you have those 2s or those 6s in your chart, you're always giving your energy away. Well, how is, you're not
How's
doing
that
anything
gonna
for yourself.
attract it to you?
Right, so then your self-esteem goes down, so then your money's gonna go down.
Oh, are you hearing this? This is great. And so it's just doing a practice, creating a spiritual practice in
Yes.
order to shift that.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's great. Anybody else have any questions? Or, anybody? No? No? Okay. All right, so anything that you could think of that you'd like to share with people?
But I'd love to talk about this, and if you want to come to the workshop, I think it'd be a
Awesome.
lot of fun.
I have a question.
Okay, oh, Diana, go, I didn't answer yours.
No, that's okay, I have no idea.
Oh, you have a new one? I did answer it.
I was wondering can you give an example of someone that had what seemed like a negative thing, trait, and then once you saw their chart, you understood it better?
Once I saw their chart, and then what?
Then you could
So somebody
understand.
Yeah,
who's
sure.
made, like, they're just a challenge at work, and then
Yes.
you saw their chart, how did you, in your spiritual practice, how did you shift around
Okay,
them?
is that the question?
Yeah.
Mhm.
They seemed real negative before, and then you were able to.
Okay, to understand them. Well, I tell you, I worked with a gal who was a 2 life path, so she was the peacemaker. I got along with her really well. She was an 8 destiny, so she had this big, she could see the bigger picture. She had real big energy. So I would get along with her most all the time. Well, in numerology, we'll look and see how many numbers are in your name. And I'll explain that more in the workshop. But she had 9 1s in her name. And so when something would ruffle her feathers, it would be like, I would see like little darts come out of her. And whenever she did that, I knew her 1s were rearing their heads, and I would run to my office and stay away from her.
Which one?
The one is the leader. It's the one with the ideas, and I'm going to do it my way. Period. So when she would step into that, I was like, okay, I'm out.
Okay, I'm out of here, I'm gonna take cover.
Yeah, because she would
There
like,
you go.
because she was that 2 energy, she always did get along with people, but when that
Right.
hit her, man, I knew exactly what was happening.
And also you, I guess, knew to not try to explain or,
No.
you don't understand, you just go.
Oh,
Not at a time like that.
she would listen to me talk about her numerology. She was open to it.
Oh, yeah.
I would talk.
Yeah, that was
You
good.
had
So
some
then,
for negative things, or would you?
challenges, we say
Challenges.
challenges, not
You could
negative.
say balanced or unbalanced, light or dark. You know, we all have the light and the dark, right? The
Absolutely.
shadows. Yeah.
Yeah, because we all have things that we do when we're kind of stressed, right? I mean, we all do, so you know, it's like just human nature. Okay, any last questions? Because we're gonna close this out. Awesome, so come do this workshop. I encourage Tracy to come because it's just, I want to understand more about not only myself, but everybody around me, which is what I always want to understand. So come, and it's 1:30 to 3:30, and sign up in the bookstore, and thank you, my darling,
Thank you.
so much. I love it. I just love it more. I know, that was so great, right? I wonder what George and Isha's numbers are. Yeah, you know what, seriously, because why are we all together,
Yeah.
right?
I know what they are.
Oh, you know what they are, okay, she knows what they are, and then, you know, it'd be fun to kind of compare all of us, because there's a little core group and we put together the service every Sunday. There's no mistake. Right? There's no mistake, I love it. So that's so great, yay! Okay, thank you, thank you. And we have a song from Isha. So you're gonna do another Stevie Wonder? I like it.